Welcome back, everybody. Today I'm going to share you the basic concept to identify and to fill up the gap that you are, or the concentrate that you are holding it back from achieving your goals. Because whenever you are just setting goals, there must be a constraints or some obstacles that holding you back. So you have to identify them. How to just start from the end, right? From the end, and just how to achieve your goals, right? We need to just analyze it, right? So your problem is to just bridge the gap between just where you are now and just the goal you are intended to reach in the future, right? So for example, maybe let us just imagine that you were just going to take a long trip across the country, right? The first step you would take would be choose your destination and then get a road map to determine the very best way to get there, right? Each day, just before you started out, you would locate yourself on a map related to where you are or you were and where you planned to go in a horse ahead, right? Life is just very much the same. So once you just have decided upon your values, your visions, your missions and purpose and goal, the next step is for you to analyze your starting point, right? Your beginning, right? So exactly where you are today, right? So, and how are you doing, right, in each of the important areas of your life, especially as they relate to your goals, right? You have to practice the reality principle, right? So if you want to be just the best you can be and achieve what is truly possible for you, you must be brutally honest with yourself about just your point of departure, right? You must sit down and just analyze yourself in detail to decide exactly where you are today in each area, because this gives you clarity, because it gives you your weakness, your strengths, and that help you to just to analyze your current situation and to determine this from where you start, right? So it gives you clear about yourself, right? And also you have to start where you are, right? For example, if you decided to lose weight, the very first step you take is to weigh yourself, right? You have to weigh yourself. From them, or you continually use weight as your measure for just whether or not you are just making progress towards your goal, right? So if you decided to begin just a personal exercise program, the first step you take is to determine how much you are just exercising today, right? How many minutes per day, per week, per month are you just exercising, and just how intensely each time, right? So what kind of exercise are you doing? Whatever your answer, it's important that you be just as curious as possible you can, right? So you then just use this answer as starting point and just make your exercise plan for the future based on it, right? You make just a starting point, right? That's the main idea that it just gives you, right? You have to know, you have to be honest with yourself, and you have to know your beginning, where you are starting, right? That's the critical and the master that you need to understand. You have to know where you are starting, right? Your initial point. ያነበቡ ነው። እሺ ኦኬ ኦኬ እሺ If you want to earn more money, the first step you take is to sit down and determine exactly how much you are earning right now, right? Just how much did you earn last year and the year before, right? How much will you earn this year? How much are you earning each month, right? The best measure of all is how much you are earning each hour right now, right? You can just determine your hourly rate by just dividing your annual income by just 2018, right? The approximate number of hours for which you are just paid each year, right? Even better, you can just divide your monthly income by 173. That's the number of hours you work on average each month, right? So many of my coaching clients calculate their hourly rate each week and compare it against the previous week, right? Then they set a goal to increase the value of what they do each hour, so as to just increase the amount they earn from then on, right? You should do the same, right? Determine your hourly rate, right? If you want to earn more money, the first step you take is to sit down and determine exactly how much you are earning right now. How much did you earn last year and the year before? How would you or how much will you earn this year? How much are you earning each month? All right, the best measure of all is how much you are earning each hour right now, right? You can just determine your hourly rate by just dividing your annual income by 2018, right? So the approximate number of hours for which you are just paid each year, right? So even better, you can just divide your monthly income by 173, the number of hours you work on average each month, right? So many of just my coaching clients calculate their hourly rate each week and just compare it against previous week, right? Then they set a goal to increase the value of what they do each hour so as to increase the amount they earn from then on, right? You should do the same, right? And also you have to be just since you are the president of your own personal service corporation, you should view yourself as being on your own payroll, right? Imagine you are just paying yourself by the hours, right? Be just as demanding of yourself as you would be someone else, right? Who was working for you, right? Refuse to just do anything that does not pay your desired hourly rate, right? So you have to your net worth, your current net worth. If you have set a long-term financial goal, the next step is for you to set your current financial goal or your current net worth. If you have set a long-term financial goal, the next step is for you to determine exactly how much you are worth today in financial terms, right? If your goal is to become a millionaire, in the years ahead, you must calculate exactly how much you have accumulated as today debt, right? Most of people are confused or dishonest about this calculation, right? Your true dollar net worth is the amount that you would have left over if you sold everything you owe today at what the market would pay and then paid off all your bills, right? Many people just place high value on their personal possessions, right? Their possessions and possessions. They think that their clothes, their car, their furniture, and their electronics are worth a lot of money, right? But the true value of this item is usually not more than just 10 or 20% of what they paid, right? So develop a long-term financial plan. For accurate financial planning, calculate your net worth today and then just subtract that amount from just your long-term financial goal. Divide the result by just a number of years you intended to spend to achieve that financial goal. In this way, you will know exactly how much you have to save, invest, and accumulate each year in order to become financially independent, right? So is your goal realistic? Based on where you are today and just say the time you are you have just allocated to get where you want to go, right? If your goal is not realistic, force yourself to be just completely honest and revise both your calculation and your projection. And also you have to practice zero-based thinking, right? Practice zero-based thinking. That means when you are beginning to plan your long-term future, one of the most valuable exercises you can engage in is just zero-based thinking, right? In zero-based thinking, you ask this question always: now what I now know, right? Is there anything that I'm doing today that I would not start again if I had to do it over? No matter who you are or what you are doing, right? There are just activities and relationship in your life, and just that's just knowing what you now you not get involved in, right? It's difficult, it's impossible, right, for you to make a progress in your life if you just allow yourself to be just held back by decisions you made in the past. If there is something your life that you not get into just again today, your next question is, how can I get out, right? And how fast, right? And also you have to elevate each area of your life, right? Apply zero-based thinking to the people's in just both your business or maybe your personal life, right? Is there any relationship that knowing what you now you will not get into again, right? Is there any person you are just working with or for whom you are just would not get involved with again? Be perfectly honest with yourself, and when you are just when you ask this question, right? So examine every aspect of your work, life, and career, right? Is there just any jobs that you have taken that knowing what you now you'd not take again, right? So is there any aspect of your business or work that you not just embark upon again? Is there any activity, product, or process, or service, or expenditure in your business that knowing what you now know, you would not just embark upon again today if you just had to do it over? After people's and work consideration, look at your investment, right? Is there any investment of time, money, or emotion that knowing what you now know, you would not just make again today? If the answer is yes, how can you get out of there, right? How fast? And also you have to be prepared to make a necessary change and decisions, right? So just over time, he started circumstances are continually changing, right? Many decisions that you make will turn out to be wrong in the fullness of time, right? When you just made the decisions or commitment, it was just probably good idea based on circumstances of the moment, but now the situation may have just changed and it's time to zero-base it again, right? You can usually tell if you are just in a zero-based thinking situations, and because of the stress that it causes, right? Whenever you are just involved in something that knowing what you now know, you not get into again, right? You experience ongoing stress, aggravation, irritation, and anger, right? So sometimes people spend an enormous amount of time trying to make a business or personal relationship succeed, right? But if you just zero-base this relationship, the correct solution is just often to get out of the relationship altogether, right? The only real caution is where the only real caution is whether or not you have the courage to admit that you were just wrong and take the necessary step to correct the situation, right? So what's holding you back? What's holding you back? If you want to earn just a certain amount of money, ask yourself, why I'm just not earning this amount of money already? What's holding you back? What is just the major reasons that you are already earning what you want to earn, right? Again, you must be perfectly honest with yourself, right? Look around you and just identify people who are earning the kind of money that you want to earn. What are they doing differently from you? What special skill and ability have they developed that they just have not yet developed? And what skill and ability do you just need to acquire if you just want to earn the same kind of money that are just earning what they are earning, right? If you are just not sure, go and ask them, right? Find out. This is too important for guesswork or chance, right? And also you have to determine your level of skill and abilities, right? Do skill inventory of yourself. First, identify the key result area of your work, right? These are just tasks that you are absolutely possibly have to fulfill in an excellent fashion in order to do your job well. What are they? In every job, there are seldom more important, more than 5 to 7K result areas, right? So these are critical tasks. You must be excellent at each of just them in order to do whole job for you are paid, right? So you must be good at every one of these tasks if you want to be in the kind of money that you are capable of earning, right? Here's an important discovery. Your weakest skill set is the highest at which you can just use all your other skill and just determine your just income in your field, right? So you can just absolutely excellent at everything except for one key skill, right? So and the skill will hold you back every step of the way, right? So in what skill area are you just very best at what you do, right? What are particular skill or combination of skill is responsible for use just for your success in your career or up to date? ይቅርታ መመለስ አለብኝ። Determine your level of skill and ability, right? You have to do a skill inventory of yourself. First, identify the key result area of your work. These are the tasks that you are absolutely positively have to fulfill in an excellent fashion in order to do your job well. What are they? In every job, there are just seldom more than 5 to 7K result areas, right? These are critical tasks. You must be excellent at each of them in order to do the whole job for which you are paid, right? So you must be good at every one of these tasks if you want to earn the kind of money that you are capable of earning, right? Here's an important discovery. Your weakest skill sets the highest at which you can use all your other skill and just determine your income in your field, right? So you can be just absolutely excellent at everything except for 1K skill, right? And that skill will hold you back every step just of the way, right? So in what skill or in what skill area are you just the very best at what you do? What particular skill or combination skill is responsible for your success in your career to date, right? So what is that you do as well or better than anyone else, right? You have to identify your weakest areas. Once you have just answered this question, look at yourself in the mirror and ask, what are my weakest skill areas? What is it that you do poorly that interfere with your ability to use your other skill? What do other people do better than you, right? Especially what just skill do you lack that are essential for your success? Whatever they are, you need to identify them accurately and honestly and then just make a plan to improve in each area, right? And also imagine starting over, right? When you embark on the achievement of any great goal that you are aspiring, right? You should just imagine that at any time you could start your career over again, right? Over again. And never just allow yourself to feel locked into or maybe trapped by just a particular decisions from the past, right? Just sunk cost fallacy, right? So keep focused on the future, right? Many people just today are just walking away from their education, their business, or maybe their industries, and or anything, their years of experience, and starting something completely new and just different, right? They are just honest enough to recognize that this is just a limited future in what they are doing, and they are just determined to try something where the future possibilities are far greater, right? You must do the same, right? So in doing is just a business assessment of your future or yourself, your life, you must face the fact, whatever they are, right? So facts don't lie. Seek out the real facts, not the obvious facts, the apparent facts, the hoped for facts, or the wished for facts, right? The true facts are what you need to make a good decision, right? So you have to be prepared to reinvent yourself, right? Take a hard look at your current company industry and your current job situation, right? Take a hard look at your just market related to your competitors, right? And reinventing yourself, standing back and just think about starting your career over again today, knowing what you now know, right? Imagine that you are, or your job, your industry just disappear overnight, right? Imagine that you had to make brand new career choice. If you were starting over again today, with your special combination of talent and skill, what would you choose to do this differently from what you are doing now, right? Your most valuable asset, right? Your most valuable financial asset is your earning ability, right? Your ability to apply your talent and skill in the marketplace, right? Your reality. In reality, you could lose your home, your car, your bank account, and your furniture, and be left with just nothing but the clothes on your back, right? But as long as your earning ability was intact, you could just walk across the street and just begin generating daily living almost immediately, right? So your earning ability is just extremely precious, or the most important skill, right? The most important asset that you have, right? So your earning ability can be just either an appreciating asset or maybe a depreciating asset for some people, right? So your earning ability can grow in just values if you just continue to just invest in it and just develop it, right? It can just decline in value if you just begin to take it for granted and start to cost on the base of what you have done in the past, right? So bundle of resource, you are a bundle of resource, right? See yourself as a bundle of resource capable of doing many different things. You have just a wide variety of skill, ability, knowledge, talent, education, and experience, right? So there are just many jobs and tasks that you could do or learn to do or extremely well, right? Never allow yourself to get locked into particular course of action, especially if you are just not happy with the way your career is going today, right? So in mental starting over, although you were just beginning your career new, looking deeply into yourself as well, right? What good habit do you just have that are helping you and moving you just towards your goal? What bad habits have you just developed that maybe just holding you back, right? What are just your very best quality of character and personality, right? What are your weakest qualities? What are new habits and quality do you just need to develop to get the very most of just yourself, and just what is your plan to begin developing that, right? What bad habits do you just need to get rid of or get out of there and just replace them with a good habit, right? You have to identify, you have to be serious with these questions, right? And also you have to go from good to great, right? Whenever I do strategic planning for a company, we start the sessions with 4 questions, right? First, where we are now, right? We gather data information from every part of the company to develop a crystal clear picture of our starting point, especially with regard to sales, marketing, position, and just profitability. So where we are now. Second, ask where would we ideally like to be in the future, right? We analyze and practice your orientation, idealize and practice future orientation. We just imagine that we can just make your company into anything we like. Third, we ask, how do we get to where we are today? Go from good to great, right? You have to ask whenever you are just going to from your career or from where you are, just go from just good to great, right? Go to great. Whenever you are just going from one career to another career, you have to just ask 4 questions, right? First, you have to ask yourself, where are we now, right? Second, you have to ask, where would we ideally like to be in the future, right? And third, how do we get to where we are today? You have to identify. And the 4th question you have to ask is always, what do we do now to get from where we are to where we want to go, right? These just questions just help you to start clear about your goals, right? And also you have to put together your own strategy planning, right? The good news is that if you have just answered the first 3 questions accurately, strategy plan or blueprint comes together more easily than if you were trying to plan without just being clear about where we are now or how we got there, right? There is an old saying, well, begin is well There is an old saying, well begun is half done, right? Doctors say accurate diagnosis is half the cure, right? Taking the time to honestly evaluate each part of your situation before you launch towards your goals will just save you months or even years, right, on your journey, right? In many cases, it will just force you to revalidate your goals in just light of superior analysis and knowledge, right? It will just dramatically improve the speed at which you achieve your goal once you just get going, right? By Helen Gates, I get on.